Welcome back, guys. It's the Tightwad, and today I'm going to show you how I cook a chuck roast. Some people call it the poor man's brisket because you can buy it in smaller sizes and it goes on sale frequently. So I found that the cheapest and easiest way to light your egg is to soak a paper towel with oil. Any kind of oil works. Any kind of cooking oil works. And then you simply light it, and then add your lump on top. So no need for any of the gimmicky type of stuff that companies sell. This is always available in a kitchen and it works well. I always recommend that you light your fire from the bottom of the basket. I've got my kick-ass basket filled up with Fogo. That's why you see the really big lumps in here. And then I've got some smaller stuff in here as well. But light the fire from the bottom so that it works its way up, because fire rises as it cooks. So I'm going to let this get going. When it gets to about 225 degrees, I will set it up with the plate setter, and I am going to use a drip pan today, and I will add my smoking wood before I do all of that. So I always leave my egg empty like this. Some people recommend that you go ahead and warm up the plate setter and all that. I think it's fine to start like this so it's easier to add your smoking wood before you put your meat on. Now it's time to prepare our meat. Our poor man's brisket is the chuck roast. So this is from Publix. It was only $4.99 a pound. And we all know that Publix has a slightly higher prices than other places, but I do like their meat department. They always have good quality meat in there. Unless you're going to a local meat packer, Publix is always a good option. So I'm gonna move it over here to the cutting board. To get started today, I'm just gonna use some yellow mustard. It doesn't impart flavor on the meat, but it does help the rub to stick to it. So I'm just gonna cover it up really good from the top and bottom. Notice this meat has pretty good marbling, a little more marbling than a brisket typically has. And that's gonna help it stay nice and moist and keep it from drying out while it's cooking. I typically do not trim any of the fat off when I'm cooking a chuckie. I've done this a few times. Last time I used a Bad Byron's rub. Another time I used Holy Cow by Meat Church. I don't think the rub is a huge deal here, but I am using the Boar's Night Out White Lightning Championship rub here. I'm gonna give it a nice coat on all the sides of my chuckie. I like using a cutting board for this, or a pan if I have a bigger piece of meat, but it's just easy to move around if you're using a cutting board. Give me a nice thick layer everywhere on it here. And I just let this sit on the counter while my egg is heating up and getting ready. And then once the egg is up to temp, this will drop in temp to be more of a room temperature, and we'll be ready to throw it on the smoker. So our internal temperature is at about 250 dome temp. I'm gonna add some smoking wood, one right in the middle here, and a couple around the sides. Next thing I'm gonna do is put my plate setter in, legs up. Some people call it the convector now. Big Green Egg kind of changed the name of it. Still the same product. I am going to use a drip pan today. I like to use a drip pan just so that the drippings from the meat don't hit the plate setter that's super hot and char them, burn them, give it a little burnt smell. So I just fill it up with water. I don't think it does anything to impart flavor or maintain moisture. I do it simply to prevent the nasty taste of the bitter flavor of burnt, charred bits of fat coming back up into the meat. And now I'm gonna add my grate right on top of that. And we are ready to add our meat. So this has been sitting on the counter for probably 45 minutes. You can see it's starting to sweat after the rub's on. That means it's good and ready to go. So I'm gonna take it off and lay it on here. I have my meter probe stuck in so I can monitor my temperature. This will wirelessly connect to any iOS device and allow me to monitor my temperature throughout the cook. So I'm gonna shut the lid, because if you're looking, you're not cooking, and we're gonna let it ride. It's normal for your temperature to drop when you add the plate setter, the water pan, and the meat. So give it time to stabilize again before you start messing with your vents. I typically have my top vent about 1/4 to 1/2 inch open, and the same on the lower vent for 250 to 300 degrees. So I'm gonna let this sit for about 30 minutes before I make any adjustments to see if it comes back up into my 250 degree range. After about 30 minutes, as expected, my eggs stabilized right at 250, and you can see my vents are still open, the same amount that they were. And we are rocking and rolling now at 250, and we are going to just be cooking to temp. I'm looking for about 160 to 165 internal temperature before I wrap it. I'm going to wrap it and add some apple cider vinegar and water to the foil, and then I'm going to put it back on and smoke to 203 degrees. One thing I love about my adjustable grate here is that when I'm smoking some meat on the bottom, I can throw some lunch on the top. So we're gonna have some smoked wings for lunch and the chuckie for dinner. I flipped my wings after 1 hour, but I don't know if that's really an essential step. And this is how they turned out after about 1 hour and 45 minutes on the raised grate, smoking at 250 over the top of my chuck roast. So I'm gonna enjoy these for lunch, and then the chuck roast is still rolling and we'll be ready in time for dinner. So my meter alarm just went off indicating that it is over 165 degrees internal temperature. So now I will wrap the chuck in foil, add some apple cider vinegar and water, and let it cook to 203 degrees. Once it reaches 203 degrees, I'll pull it off, wrap it in a towel, and put it in a cooler until time to eat. I want it to rest for at least 1 hour, but it can rest, in my opinion, up to 3 hours. Just placing it right in the center of one of the wraps, folding it up around it, making sure the meter probe stays exposed. Wrap it the other direction now. I forgot to put my apple cider vinegar. Just gonna pour some around the outside. A little bit of water. You don't need to cover it, just adding some juice in there. So I'll wrap it back up and get it on the smoker now. All right, so I cooked the brisket to 203 degrees internal temperature, and then I let it sit for about 45 minutes because my guests are here and ready to eat. So now I'm going to take it out of the foil and slice it. I have this brisket knife I picked up on Amazon. It's a Dexter Santa Safe. I think it's 14 inches. So it's a little big for this, but it will definitely work. And it slices through like butter. It's always a good sign. I'm cutting against the grain. So you can see right here, always cut brisket against the grain. And I can't wait to try some of this. The difference in this and a brisket is this is several different pieces of meat held together by fat membranes. So it's not gonna have one long consistent piece. So you can see how they all broke apart whenever I was cutting them, but the flavor is fantastic. If you think this meat looks delicious, give it a thumbs up. Leave any questions you have about the cook in the comments section below, and I'll get back to you. Subscribe to my channel for more Big Green Egg style videos and household DIY videos. Feel free to click any of the videos shown on the screen right now, and they should open on your device. I hope you guys have a great day.